Jimripsu and welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Linda Ou, and I am live from the state of California, the beautiful and now hot again California. And for thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate that you are here. Um, Let me see. Our main aim tonight is to shed some light on Cambodia current political situation, basically political landscape for the second or third generation of Khmer youth overseas. So it is crucial that our Khmer youth overseas actively engage and also to advocate for the democratic value and stand against any authoritarian practice back home. So we are strongly believe in empowering our young people and encourage their involvement and also decision making. And that's why we have two wonderful, so youthful youths here with us today. And again, thank you for joining our show. Today is Tuesday, October 1st, 7:37 p.m. in USA, in California time, and also at 10:37 in the East Coast. So one of our guests in the East Coast is very late. It's very late for her time to go to bed now. But again, thank you so much, our audience, for being here. Our topic for tonight is strength in numbers. So we will basically talk about the protests that's coming up. We have 3 or 4 protests that going on, and also we want to for our audience to help sign the petition. So let me bring our youth out one at a time. Let me bring out Soknin. Soknin.
Yeah, Jimripsu Bong.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me today.
You are my brand new youth. Soknin is very involved with our, I guess, say our activity about Cambodia. So can you introduce yourself? Where are you from? What have you been doing for our viewer that might not know who you are, but I know who you are.
Thank you so much, Bong, for giving me the opportunity to be here with you tonight, and thank you for hosting the show. Um, as you have introduced, my name is Soknin. I'm from Connecticut on the East Coast side of the U.S. And I recently went to Poland, and over there we had a conference for women's rights and democracy, and it was very, very a good session. I was able to meet with 100 women's leader from different part of the world, and we talked about the important and the significant of women's role in promoting democracy, especially in Cambodia, and how women should not only be a participant in shaping our society, but also the leader for shaping the future, and in the play a role in promoting for democracy. So that was a very productive sessions. And now I'm here with you tonight, and then I will be heading over to DC in 2 weeks for our mass rally, which is the topic for tonight discussions.
Good. Thank you so much, Soknin. Let me bring another youth out, and then we'll come together. Okay.
Sure.
So Samady.
Ripsu Bong, Ripsu everyone.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Bong, and you?
Good. Thank you for being on the show again. And tell our audience, we haven't seen you for like almost a month. Where have you been? I see you at the temple.
Well,
Have you been doing?
well, besides my paid work to support, my hobby as a advocating and become an activist. As a hobby, well, I go to the temple a few days. I think almost back to back for Pyongyang. So I wish all of our audience, uh, you know, a very good karma Pyongyang. The more you went to the temple, the more karma point will be passed upon you by Buddha. And also and also offer food to the monk and my ancestor at the temple during Pyongyang. And I wish everyone a blessed Pyongyang and most importantly, teaching the younger generation about our rich culture that we have as Cambodian and Khmer. That's what's make us, having the Khmer DNA in our blood. So yes, well.
Okay, thank you, Samady. Let me bring all of us to the screen. Well, Soknin, I noticed you did went to the temple as well this past weekend, right? How was that?
Yes, I did. It was a lot of fun. It was really good to see a lot of Cambodians come together and celebrating the traditional Cambodia holiday and keeping that tradition alive. And we offered food to the monk. We even had the traditional rice harvesting, the process of how we harvest rice, which was very interesting for me because I grew up here in the US, so never really got to see that side of the country back home in Cambodia. So very first time seeing that, learn a lot from that aspect. And again, had a lot of amazing Cambodian food, traditional Cambodian food made by um, the very, very talented aunts and uncles in at the temple, different varieties of food. So it was really good to be connected with the community, the Cambodia community in the and the Cambodia diaspora. Did you go to any temple, Bong?
Um, Not yet. I was involved with the temple, but I have not been to Kanban yet because I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. But I am hoping to go this weekend. Many temples around California, even though today is Chumban in Cambodia, but because it's land on a Tuesday in the USA, they move them to either Saturday and Sunday. So our temple is going to be doing both Saturday and Sunday. If anyone would like to join, and also like Soknin and Samady, they are very young generation. So we want to encourage other young generations to be at the temple to learn the culture, to meet the Cambodian people, especially to also to eat the food. Yes, and it's very encouraging that both of you are over at the temple, and somebody probably going to go again this weekend. It showed that the because of not many young kids involved with the temple, because the language barrier, and it's also it's important that the parents saying that why are they at the temple, what is it that we like. The past weekend you were there because it's because it's ancestor day, and we do that for the whole 15 days, because in Buddhist we believe that during that 15-day the gate of hell for the ancestor that in hell open up, and we the living have to offer food to our family and friend, or our relative, like 7 generations that are not able to reborn. So that's the reason why. But it's important that the youth understand, and also it's important that the parent explain to it as well why you there, what's going on. But I'm glad both of you were there, and I haven't there yet, but I'll be this Saturday and Sunday. So now, every time I'm here at the show, I always ask our audience to do something. So I have a petitions. Let me pull up, and we can talk about a little bit, and Soknin can also explain how we sign that petitions. Okay, let me see. So you see on the screen, it's at change.org. Let me also at the same time drop a link for our audience, so that way they have a link to the petition. This is petition at change.org. It's the title is call for an independent review of the Paris peace agreements. And so far, this petition just released yesterday. We have 83 signatures so far. Soknin, have you signed the petition?
Yes, I did. And I also share it with my colleagues, my friends, and family as well. It's very simple to sign the petition. All you need is your first name and your last name and your email. And that's the only 3 requirement for this petition. And it takes less than a minute. Anyone can do it. If you have any trouble with signing the petition, find a younger one in your family, find the youth, or find someone, the younger generation knows how to work technology very well. All you have to do is click on the link, which will bring you right to this page, and you can read more of the full detail of the petition, why we're asking you to sign the petition, what the petition is demanding. And again, all you need is your full name and your email, and you'll be able to sign this petition. And once you sign it, don't forget to share it with your friends, your family, everyone that you know, so that way they can help sign the petition as well.
Is it only for the people in the US, or is it worldwide?
Anywhere in the world that you are able to access the internet or have access to a technology device, you'll be able to sign this.
So I'm assuming that when people sign up for Facebook to have Facebook account using email, anyone with an email account can sign up, correct?
Correct. All you need is an email.
Yes, and so that's how simple it is. And I would encourage everyone, when I say everyone all over the world, and you don't have to be Cambodian. You can love Cambodian, but doesn't matter what national you are, what religion you are. Please help sign this petition. First name, last name, and email. And let me read a little bit of this. Petitioners is the people of Cambodia. So it basically recipients, the signatories of the 1991 Paris Peace Accords. So if you are also, the petition is also in Khmer as well. If our Cambodian people that want to understand why we signed this petition. So in both language, I don't think it's in other language. Let me see. Yes, it's in English and Khmer. So please help sign the petitions. It has it has 6 points, like a 7 point, basically. So the first one is erosions of democracy. So we know that in 2017, the main opposition party, the Cambodian National Rescue Party, was banned or dissolved by the Hun regime. So that's one of the main reason. The second one is violation of national sovereignty. Also regarding Cambodia increasing reliance on China, human rights abuse. We can talk about this all day long. Land grab and economic exploitations. And we're talking about CLV. So we're going to be discussing this a little bit later on. Microfinance crisis. We all know about this. I have talked about microfinance endlessly in my show, and its effect, and Soknin know it's affect mostly women. So, and then talking about criminal activity and international sanctions. So please head to change.org and sign the petitions, and we need your help. Many people might not know that this petition released yesterday, so we know there's more than 83 people in America, 83 people all over the world. So please help sign, and especially share with everyone, co-worker, friends, everyone. Samady, have you signed the petition yet?
Yes, well, just trying to convince other people to sign them, because I think 100 is still too little.
Yes. Yes.
There should be, have at least 100,000 signature to sign this petition, because it's not for anyone; it's for Cambodian as a whole.
So please, everyone, sign this petition. Like I said, look, like Soknin said, like Samady said, it's very easy. First name, last name, and email. So please head to change.org. The link is on the comments section. Please sign and help sign the petitions. Anywhere you live, anywhere in the world can sign this petition. So thank you so much both for talking about the petition. Now, you both going to be in DC. When is that be?
The protest is gonna be on is gonna begin on October 10th through 14th, I think. So the big protest will be on Saturday, which is at 12. So in this time we have done something that never happened before, that never been done before. So we will have a 4-day protest. Whoever can make it on those date listed on the screen from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, um, able to come to the protest and express our voice in front of the Cambodian embassy, U.S. State Department, and we will walk around Washington D.C. to show that we are here on a peaceful protest. Or worse, like in Cambodia, they would like to label us who practicing First Amendment right as a terrorist group.
Soknin, will you be there?
Yes, I will be there, Bong, for those days.
All 4 days?
Yes.
All 4 days. Okay. Um, what are you planning to do? I mean, like personally, I know you're going to be there for 4 days, but I know that's activity you're going to do. So, can you share with our audience?
So the goal of the protest is promote democracy and human right in Cambodia. Also, demanding a full withdrawal of the CLVDTA, and not only just demanding a full withdrawal, but the transparency that the transparency from the government as well. And I'm sure that many Cambodia, whether you're in the country, whether you are abroad somewhere outside of the country, we have seen many Cambodian citizens in Cambodia got arrested for their criticism in Cambodia. So despite the regime saying that they have withdrawn from the CLBDTA, we are demanding the release of those prisoners because they are still in prison. So we are demanding the release for them, and showing our unity among the Cambodia diaspora, and our commitment to protecting the land of Cambodia, and as well as a review of the Paris Peace Agreement that was signed on October 23rd, 1991. Yeah, so those would be the mission of the protest, and I will be there on those days to join the protest in DC.
The main issue, the main protest, based on the flyer, both in English and in Khmer, is no CLV. We know that in the U.S., many different locations have been protesting. Also, Australia, also Canada, also the youth in South Korea protesting. We do not see anyone in Cambodia protesting. Why is that, Soknin?
Because people in Cambodia have no voice. People have that's why it's so important for the Cambodia diaspora to use their voice, and because their voice has power, their voice have the ability to make changes, and it's important that we are being the voice of the voiceless individual in Cambodia. Those prisoners that we have in prison didn't even protest. All they did was criticize, which they should be able to criticize the government. They should be able to say, I do not support this plan. And that is their freedom. That is their human rights to say that. But in Cambodia, we do not have that. Everything is controlled under the regime. There's no freedom of, there's no free media. There's no freedom of expression. There's no freedom of speech. The regime has continuously threatened both the diaspora and the Cambodia citizen in Cambodia, continuously threatening, using the threat as a way of silencing the individuals, the Cambodian citizens, to not protest against the CLV, and arresting those people who criticize them is another way of them instilling threats to the Cambodian peoples.
Thank you, Soknin. It's really good explanations, because I don't want our people in overseas, especially Cambodian overseas, to say, oh, they are so quiet. Why? How come? And like Soknin said, it's important that we oversee to use our voice. Samady, you want to add anything? Why are we doing protests overseas when the people in Cambodia not even saying anything?
Well, I think the main point is besides everything that Soknin explained is political prisoner and so on. Not political prisoner, but people who just expressing their freedom of speech inside the country, which supported by the law in Cambodia. The second most important thing is we want to talk about the 1991 Paris Peace Accord that the regime signed. Not only the Cambodia, but also Canada, China, France, Indonesia, Japan, Laos, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. And 19 countries signed this agreement. And right now, as Cambodian democracy deteriorating, none of them have taken any action to protect the Paris Peace Accord that has been agreed upon in 1991. And basically, um, uh, they have this projects to help restore Cambodia to mainly the Khmer Rouge, and to stop communism during that time, because it spread so wide and so large that the whole purpose of the 1991 Paris Peace Accord is to keep Cambodian at bay from being influenced by the Chinese communist ideology that has been heavily influenced by Pol Pot and Mao Zedong during that time. And the second most important thing is the widespread of deforestation in Cambodia. According to Global Forest Watch, stand short for GFW, Cambodia lost 2.6 million hectares of tree cover between 2001 to 2020. Mind you, the project has been implemented in 1999, according to the data that being showed, and according to Hun Sen that claimed that this project has been implemented a long time ago. Ever since the project's being implemented, Hun Sen promised, to bring economic boost to Cambodian people through this Cambodian Lao Vietnamese projects. But in return, we have lost 32% in forest coverage in Cambodia in those four provinces. The study by, the University of Maryland in 2021 found that Cambodia has the highest deforestation rate in the world, not just in the region, primarily driven by land concession, mainly rubber plantation, logging. Cambodian possessed the most, expensive log known as chơ kranyung, the type of wood that people would, in Asian culture, we usually use those wood either to build house or, build furniture out of it. And it could have cost up to hundreds of thousands of dollars to being put inside the home. And the Vietnamese company, there's three main one is Hong and stand for HAGL. It's basically a major, I can't pronounce them. Because it's basically a rubber company based inside Cambodia ever since those projects being implemented. According to Global Witness, it was involved in illegal logging inside Cambodia and forest clearing, resulting in displacement of local Cambodian community without any compensation. So those people got kicked out of their home. Not only they cut trees, but also kicked those people out of their home. And those people were Cambodian, indigenous people. This is due to the Cambodian government allowing the Vietnamese company to come in and so-called economic boost to our country in those four provinces. I think I did a research on, I think compared to 2001 to 2021, World Bank showed that we went down from 66% to 40% in 2021. And the regime start aggressive crackdown on Mother Nature and all the NGO and civil society organization within the country that did research on deforestation. They no longer have the proper data to provide. I think by now it should drop to 20% by 2025. And while on the other hand, Vietnam, that also in this part of the projects, um, passed a law to not allow any deforestation, strict law inside their country in those provinces that they put them in economic zone. And they increased by 33% in forestation inside that country while destroying our natural resources. So this is just a factual data that shows that the COE is not here to boost the Cambodian economy, but here to take advantage of our country that suffered through endless war and its people. So basically, it just use us and to for their own benefit. Yes, mom.
Regarding land concession, Soknin, do you know anything about land concession in Cambodia?
Um, who doesn't, Bong? There's so much there's so much of that going on in Cambodia. The one that we've been talking about a lot in the past is the forced eviction continuously going on. The biggest one is not the biggest one, but one of the cases of forced eviction is the mass eviction in Angkor Wat. A lot of people know Angkor Wat. A lot of Cambodian youth in the U.S. know Angkor Wat, but what they don't know is about the forced eviction. And I think that when we think about Angkor Wat, we think about the symbolism of Cambodia. We think about all the positive things, but people not people tend not to realize the negative aspect of not the negative aspect, but what is the suffering that the people around Angkor Wat is going through, the mass eviction of thousands of families, the younger children's, women's, and lower income family of Cambodia who make livings out of selling souvenirs, having small shops, and those Cambodian, those individual, those families are what are one of the reason that get tourists to go to Angkor Wat, because they are the one that's selling those souvenir and those souvenir have symbols, have history behind it, have meanings and describe Cambodia's. Also, the food, they sell foods that are our traditional food, that the tourists come and enjoy those delicious food and think of Cambodia. So they are one of the attraction for the tourists. But now, not only are they being force evicted, they were lied to by um, being promised a relocation, but it wasn't a relocation. They've been forced out of their home that have been living there for many generations, now living in the middle of nowhere, the middle of this piece of land with metal sheets to make their home. And then if you think about the younger children who need to go to school, and education is so important for the younger, especially for their development. Um, it's so important, but now because they're being forced to go in an isolated area, they're not having those resources anymore. So as you mentioned earlier, women are one of the main target for microfinance. By forcing them to live in a place where now they are not able to make those income anymore, increases their chance of that of going into the microfinance debt. And again, those children are not getting the proper education that they should be getting. So we continuously seeing this forced eviction. Angkor Wat forced eviction is not the first and it's not the last. It's just one of many cases that's happening in Cambodia.
I always say that forced eviction, land grab, about people holding sign begging for their land, begging for the right to their land. It's a cancer. It's like cancer. The issue will not be solved because the problem is keep going. And in order, like cancer, in order to get rid of it, you have to kill it. And unfortunately, for the last 40 years, land grabbing and forced evictions, it's everywhere, not just Angkor Wat, all over the country, all over Cambodia. Somebody touch base on what's going on with CLV. You touch base on forced evictions. Now, Soknin, since you are my new guest, I want to know why should this Cambodian diaspora, including yourself, who very youth, very young compared to me, should care about this issue? Why are you going to DC and protesting on the 11th, 12th, 13, and 14? Your life is very comfortable. My life is very comfortable where we at. Why do we have to go and walk in the middle of the hot sun and demand the regime to end CLV, properly end CLV, not just a piece of paper, not just on TV like that? And also regarding Paris Peace Accord, why do we need to keep talking about Paris Peace Accord?
So first, I don't want history to repeat. I know that many of our Cambodia diaspora have heard about Khmer Crown, but if you look on the map, where are they? They can't they are not on the map of the world. Khmer Krom is, you cannot find them on the map. And I don't want that to happen to Cambodia. I want Cambodia land to stay to the Cambodian people. I want the future generation of Cambodia to find Cambodia on the map. So having China and having Vietnam interference in Cambodia will put us on a pathway, the same pathway as Khmer Krom. So as a Cambodian citizen, we need to protect our land, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to the protest in DC, and that I strongly encourage every Cambodian to go out there. If you are able to make it to DC on any of those days, or even better on all of those days. But if you're not able to attend for all of those days, any of those days would be just fine. So that way we can protect our land, and the land of Cambodia belongs to the Cambodians. And I think we touched base a little bit about this, is that the Cambodian inside the country do not have a voice, but we do. You live comfortably here, I live comfortably here. We all three here live very comfortable in Cambodia. But the people of Cambodia who are in Cambodia do not have that. And that kind of ties into the Paris Peace Agreement from 1991. It ensured free and fair election. The election in 2023, I would not say that was an election. It was not a free and fair election. It was more like a selection. And how could you say it's an election? When I think about election, we're thinking about multiple parties, multiple individuals that you can vote for. But when opposition party are being banned, then there's only one option. Then it's not really an option for election. It's more like a selection. If you look at the U.S. upcoming election in November, we have Democrats, we have Republican, we have third parties that we can vote for. And the one difference between me, who live here, us living here in Cambodia, we can vote freely. We don't have to worry about who's going to come after us if we don't vote for the current regime, if we don't vote for the son of the previous prime minister who have been selected to be the next prime minister. We can vote freely, but in Cambodia, people don't have that. So we do not have free and fair election, which was stated in the Paris Peace Agreement. So that's the other. That's the second reason why I'll be there in DC, and the third reason why I will be in DC is because I want to be the change that break that chain of power, the power from the father to the son. We know that democracy in Cambodia under the Hun regime is continuously deteriorating, and we have to do something about it. We can't just say democracy is deteriorating and we feel bad for the people of Cambodia who live in Cambodia, but we have to actually do something about it. And at the mass rally in DC, we're calling for a review of the Paris Peace Agreement, and calling on all those countries who signed the Paris Peace Agreement to hold the regime accountable, to see, to investigate that what was written on the Paris Peace Agreement is not happening in Cambodia, and we need to hold them accountable for that.
Thank you, Soknin. I just want our audience to know, when we're talking about Vietnam, when we're talking about Chinese, we are not discriminating against Vietnam, Vietnamese or Chinese. We are talking about their policy toward our country, toward Cambodia. So we are talking about policy. We're not talking about the people that are discriminating against people at all. When we're talking about CLV, we're talking about Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, where Vietnam has almost 10 million people, where we have barely 600,000 people in those 4 provinces. And it's only a matter of time that people of Vietnam would be traveling to Cambodia without visa, those under the CLV. So I just want to make it clear to our audience, when we're talking about Vietnamese and also Chinese, we're not talking about the people discriminated against people we're talking about their policy in our country, and so that's what we are talking about. Samady, why are you going to be there?
Well, just like Soknin said, I'm expressing my voice, and most importantly, I think in history class here, even though they never taught in Cambodia, they talked a lot about the Cold War and under Nixon and how to stop the Cold War in Southeast Asia, mainly the U.S. against the Vietnamese during that time is the communism Vietnam. Basically, they pulled out of Cambodia, and during that time is Lon Nol, being supported by the U.S. as we all know. And after the Vietnamese, was so strong back then, and Lon Nol lost power, our country started deteriorating. And I have looked into many articles, want to see the reason behind why Vietnamese come under the pretext of rescuing Cambodia under the that is under the genocide. And I haven't seen any document that's supporting their claim that they will the Vietnamese communist government during that time come into Cambodia until humanitarian rescue to rescue Cambodian under the genocide. Their goal is to basically back then the leader of Khmer Rouge, which is Pol Pot, has went to China and basically want to side with the Chinese government, communists. As a result, Vietnam, also communist, was afraid that if Cambodian become a satellite country, as this would harm them, their sovereignty, and it would not bring any benefit to the Vietnamese communism government. As a result, they decide to use Cambodia, that had just been through the genocide, as a battleground, to basically win the war without bloodshed under the pretext of saving Cambodians under the genocide, and two, able to gain some of the land, to expand their sovereignty. As a result, Cambodian is the one that is under this political battle between two big country back then. And as of now, they are trying to do the same thing under the pretext of economic development, to help boost Cambodian economy. We No matter what, these projects have to move on. Even though Hun Sen, some might argue that um, is they would say all of you extremists, blind to see the official letter, released by the Ministry of Minister of Foreign Affairs in Cambodia and signed by Hun Sen, saying that the CLV project has been ended. But if you read the law and agreement that they have signed between the three countries, Cambodia is the only one released its own statement. In order for this process to take shape, the other two countries has to agree to these projects, because Vietnam the government has invested $1.4 billion projects that take expiration in 2030, agreement with the Cambodian government that has 45 projects on those provinces. You cannot just pull out of a projects, the next day. If you agree to, a contract for until 2030 for them to develop their projects, you can't just pull it out. How are we going to find $1.4 billion to pay back the Vietnamese government? So Hun Sen the government tried to lie to Cambodian people. They thought that we are dumb, we are not illiterate. They would thought we can't read English, and also being written in Khmer too. So this is why it is important for us to be educated on the agreement and what being presented, not just believe on what we see on social media. And I feel like the deforestation will continue, land grab will continue, nothing will change, and this is why we need to protest until we see an actual proper document being released by the other two countries. In this case, I'm talking about Lao government and Vietnamese government. to show that they are willing to accept Cambodia pulling out of the CLV Delta projects, not just from Cambodian side. So yes, Bong, I will keep going to the protest in in Washington D.C. From the 11th to the 14th, and I will go to Korea too to express my voice.
Um, what day is the South in South Korea? Do you know for sure?
Um, uh, I don't want to say yet. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's around the 27th. We'll see. So I'm not
Okay,
sure
so
yet.
you're not sure yet. When you come back from DC, we do have protests in Long Beach. So please join us. If you are around Long Beach, we have a protest in October on October 20, which is a Sunday. We used to do it on Saturday, but now we changed to Sunday, hoping that people would have a more opportunity to join. So if you, I hope everybody will be able to make it to DC. Like Soknin said, we live comfortable in this country. Soknin has a full-time job. I have a full-time job. Samady has a full-time job. We all sacrifice to go and make sure we our voice is loud and clear. And we cannot loud and clear by ourselves. We have to be loud and clear with other people in the community. So hopefully people, not hopefully, I am sure people will be there. And I hope that people who are still on the fence thinking should they go, should not, please join the movement, please join the protest. It is very important. We also incorporate the PPA, the Paris Peace Accord, with this protest as well, because CLV, DTA projects, and Paris Peace Accord tied together regarding land, and that's one of the section on the PPA, because they know in 1991, before that, we know that they know, we all know that Vietnam government wanted Cambodia land. And when they take about, when something talk about land concessions, somebody talking about deforestation for the last 25 years. When you develop something, you should gain, you should build, development, building, mean, but instead deforestation in those four provinces, displacement of community, and land concessions, many locations. I read somewhere that there's like 40 something, 40 land concession contract alone in those sections, but all over Cambodia land concession is, and it's not just when we talk, oh, that's why not how do people develop? No, it's 99 years contract. So who in their right mind sign a contract for 99 years? Who in their right mind gonna live 99 years to know the contract can be end? No one. And when talking about those land concession in those provinces, we all know, we are aware that the land concession is supposed to help the Cambodian people have job, but unfortunately doing those locations, it's all Vietnamese people came over, work, live, and have family. The next 99 years, what happened to those land? I would not be here in the next 99 years for sure. And nobody gonna remember that. Oh, by the way, these four provinces was land concession leased to with Vietnam, and we should be able to get those back. But unfortunately, even right now, we couldn't even go into those land to go check out what our ordinary citizen cannot even go to those land and see what's going on in those land, because they wouldn't let you go there. So CLV is one of the topic. Paris Peace Accord is another topic. 4 day in Washington D.C. You will see Soknin, you will see Samady, you will see a lot of people. So please join the movement. Please show up. Please speak up. It's very important, especially the youth. We are here speaking in English because we want to encourage the youth. We talk a lot about what's going on in Cambodia, so the youth should know what's going on. Cambodia is more than just culture. Cambodia is more than just singing and dancing and drinking. As a youth, when you're talking about, I'm so proud to be Cambodian, It's more than traditional dance. It's more than um, basically people always use the word culture to say, oh, you should know about your culture, and being Cambodian, you know about those. That's not about dancing, drinking, and those. That's about learning about Cambodia, learning what's going on. Like Soknin said, there is no free, fair, and just elections. The last 40 years, it's been controlled by one man, prime minister, one prime minister. Soknin is younger than 40. She's all her life. All she knows is Hun Sen. All my life, all I know is Hun Sen. Both of you, all we know is the Hun regime. And that's not free, fair election. And when we go tell people, oh, by the way, we have elections, but only one person keep winning. My goodness, what's going on? Yeah, people laugh. And that's something that um, the youth need to understand. And also, they are talking about peace. Everybody that in that prime minister seat have the capability to keep Cambodia at peace, not just one family. Like we in America, we have an opportunity to say, if you want in America, you can be president. But in Cambodia, if you want in Cambodia, you're lucky if you have a job when you grow up. So I'm a little bit speaking too much. But Soknin, anything you want to add? If I miss anything?
Um, just regarding the upcoming protest in Washington D.C., I highly encourage everyone to go to D.C. on those 4 days or any of those 4 days, especially the younger generation. It does not matter if you were born here with language barrier. We are here that speak English, and we will be there. So if you are there and you're lost, and you just find one of us, and we'll be able to help you and guide you in the right direction. I know I've met a good amount of Cambodian youth who either came to the U.S. at a very young age, or they're born here and they don't speak Cambodian, and they let that be a barrier for them to join the movement to find democracy and human rights in Cambodia. Don't let that be the barrier. Language barrier does not stop you from that movement. You can still join with language barrier. We are speaking in English, and even if you don't speak English, we have people who speak Khmer. We speak both languages, and um, if this is if this will be your first protest, please come out and join us. I promise it's a lot of fun. I went to my first protest not too long ago, and I'll be going to one in DC and many more protests to come. So, speaking from experience, don't let the language barrier, don't let oh, I have not done this before, this is my first time. Don't let that fear get in your way of expressing your voice, of you uniting and standing with the Cambodia diaspora to find true democracy, to find peace, for true peace, not just the peace that the regime constantly saying, to find true peace for the people of Cambodia and to stand up for your country. So again, don't let any of that stand in your way. Come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to learn so much, and you're going to be able to connect with the diaspora. So again, I highly encourage you to be there and find one of us in DC, and we're more than happy to help you however we can. And I hope to see a lot of I hope to see everyone, especially the younger generation, to be present in DC.
Thank you, Soknin. How about you, Samady?
Well, if you do come to the protest, you don't have to say anything. I want you to look around, and what do you see? Mainly older Cambodian generation, and ask yourself this: why do they come to this protest? They can barely walk. It's because they live long enough to experience the histories of Cambodia and what is like under Khmer Rouge and what is like under the influence of Vietnamese satellite government um, back in the 70s. And they sees that if this if they allowed the leadership, ruling through generational family to progress unchecked, and when, the regime aligned closely with the Vietnamese government at the expense of our own Cambodian citizen, they compromise our country's sovereignty. And, we said many times the Paris Peace Accord promised that Cambodian would be able to determine our own future free from outside interferences. And however, deepening, we are still being influenced by the Vietnamese government through legal economic development like the CLV, through four provinces. And I just hope that all of us know about history, our history, and able to advocate for Cambodia, for decades to come. 20 to 30 years from now on, these people won't be here. And who will be talking about Cambodian history? Who will be advocating for Khmer Krom that used to be one of our nation, but now the French, after the colonization, cede our land to the Vietnamese government and say, it's time for me to leave, and here's the land, you can have it. But these people still considered to be Cambodian under, the one country, two system. The Cambodian were not allowed to practice our religion, speak our language, or practice our culture in Khmer Kram. And those people has been stripped of our own identity and culture, our Khmer culture. And I just hope, 30 years from now, during my time, those four provinces, those people won't be following the history and the footstep of Khmer Kram. And I just hope that we're still advocating for Cambodia for the next 30 years. And hopefully one day we're able to go back to Cambodia and welcome our friend who, fight with us, democratic friend, Hong Kong, Tibet, everyone who supported us, to the beautiful Angkor Wat, to see everyone smiles without, without the suffering and the fear behind those smiles. So that's what I have to say about.
Thank you. Thank you, Samady, and thank you, Soknin. Let me put the poster up again. Let me see if I can find them. October 11, 12, 13, and 14, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please join us for this protest for mass rally in Washington, D.C. No CLV. We unite to demand the Cambodian government to withdraw from CLV DTA project. Together, we will stand to protect our nation, territorial integrity, and sovereignty. Please join us. Soknin, Samady, if you in Long Beach, join me. If you couldn't make it, but I hope that you can make it to DC. And if you are living in a community, I always keep hearing the youth, oh, my town doesn't have enough Cambodian. I don't live with Cambodian community. It's now time for you to reach out, find time for you to come to DC and meet your own blood, your own Cambodian people that care and concern about Cambodia. So please join the movement. So 11, 12, 13, and 14 in Long Beach, we will have a protest on the 20. I know in different country as well, and also I know in different states, they will still continue, but we want a mass rally in DC, October 11, 12, 13, and 14. Please join Samady, please join Soknin. Like I said, they both have a full-time job, um, and they give up 4 days, 5 days, probably 6 days just to travel, to be there, get ready. And also thank you for the people in the community in Washington, D.C. that's going to welcome you guys, they're going to welcome the protester, and also have been working on getting permit, getting ready. So please join, like Soknin or Sambi said, just show up and see what's going on, see the passion that people have for Cambodia. And if you keep complaining, that not complaining, oh, my community doesn't have Cambodia, I cannot speak Cambodian, please come. You do not want me, you do not want to hear me speak Cambodian neither. That's why we are in English show. So hopefully everybody can join DC and everywhere out. Please, it's very important. But before you go to the protest, also please sign the petition at change.org as well. The link, both links, I think, or one link, it show up two here. But if you, I know our audience, some audience watching on YouTube as well, the links there from YouTube and also from Facebook. So please join us. If you don't know where to go, let me see. I will put on the flyer and look for Soknin, the beautiful Soknin face and handsome Samady. You will not miss them. So, so both of them will be there at the protest. Unfortunately, I have a other event that I had to go to. I will not be there, but I really wish that I'm there. But both of you, I know for sure, both of you in the Washington D.C. community and our people will be great. So, any last minute that you forgot
I
to say?
think I say
Something,
everything already, Mom.
Yeah,
anything you out of your chest?
I think we had a really good discussion, and we touch up, we discussed a lot of important things, important reason why we are going to DC, important reason why the Cambodian everyone should join our protest in DC. So I again, I hope to see everyone there, and um, that one day, I'm not hopeful, but I know that one day that we all will be able to return to Cambodia, but we cannot get there with just us. So we need everyone to stand together and join this work together, so that way, one day all of us can return home. And when that day comes, there will be true democracy and true peace, and free and fair election in Cambodia. That's what we're working toward. And I know that we will get there, but again, we need everyone to join this movement. So my last word, last remark is that, again, strongly encourage everyone to be there. The younger faces, um, don't be afraid of the Cambodia diaspora. They are very, very friendly. Um, if they know that this is your first time, they will guide you in the right path. They will explain to you. They will share the history. They will share their experience of going through the Khmer Rouge, of resettling in the U.S. or different part of the world, Canada, Australia, Japan, Korea. They will share that history with you. They will share the experience, and they will not hesitate to introduce you to the Cambodian history, and which is so important to know, why, to understand why we're doing the work that we're doing now, and why we're so committed and so dedicated to this work. So if you don't know, if you feel that you don't know what's going on, that's okay. Still come out. We will share that information with you. We will make sure that you will walk away from the protest feeling more educated, feeling like you learned something from this protest, and most importantly, you feel empowered to keep joining this work. So I hope to see everyone there. And lastly, I wish everyone happy Pyongyang. I hope everyone get a chance to go to the temple if you haven't already. I think a lot of the temple are still hosting final celebration this weekend, if not the following weekend as well. Some temple are doing the following weekend. Some temple are doing this weekend as the last weekend. So if you haven't gotten to the temple, find your local temple, go to the temple, learn about the traditional holiday, celebrate the traditional Cambodia holiday, and yeah, I hope to see everyone in DC.
Good. Thank you, Soknin, and thank you, Samady. We will end with Soknin's statement. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and thank you, our audience, for watching us. This is very late, like almost midnight already in the East Coast, but thank you so much for sticking there, hang on with us, and hope to see everyone at DC. And again, Soknin always stress, if your first time, Samady and I and Soknin, we wasn't born to protest, but we went to protest, and it's helped us to meet people. So I will end with that. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.